Hey there, this is Peyton from C & Code, and today I'm going to teach you how to make a register and login page. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is open a new file and save it in your htdocs folder as index.php. Alright, now we'll open some HTML tags, and then open your head tags, and then open your title tags, and we'll just put in register and login page. And then open up your body tags, and inside the body we'll open up some h1 tags, and we'll say register and login, and if you're working on your own website, obviously you'd put something different up there at the top, but this is just for demonstration purposes. And then put the HR / tag there, and all that does is it makes it like this. And oh wait, there's an extra. I was wondering what that was. Alright, now we'll go ahead and center this too. There we go. Alright. Next, we can go ahead and start on our register form. So what we're going to do is create a div, and we'll make the class called register. Alright, and then what we're going to do is make our form. Well, actually first, we'll use the h2 tag, say sign up below. And then we'll have our form action is equal to index.php, and then method is going to be post. Close the form. Alright, so basically there's two kinds of HTTP methods, we use on a form. There is get and there's post. We're using post because post basically submits data to be processed to a specified resource. So let's say we'll post it will be like if you were to hit the back button or the reload button after you submitted a form, and if it was a method post, the data would be resubmitted, and most browsers would alert the user that the data was going to be resubmitted, and it would say okay or cancel. And with get, it basically just requests data from a specified resource. So with get, all the data is stored in the browser history, and it adds the data to the URL, and the parameters remain in the browser history. So basically the data is visible to everyone within the URL. So you wouldn't want to use get for important the method get for anything important, basically, like passwords, usernames, emails, all that good stuff, you wouldn't want to use Git for that. Alright. So anyways, we'll have an input type equal to text give it the name of username, placeholder, just say username. And then we're going to have another input type, name is equal to email, placeholder is equal to email, and then we'll add another break. And basically what the placeholder is, if you don't already know, is it says it right there in gray, so you can just click it like that. And once you type in stuff, the placeholder disappears. And we'll add one more break in each line. And actually, I forgot, I'll mess this up a lot, but with HTML5, they added a new input type, and that input type is email, so it makes it to where the user has to enter the email in a field that you want them to. So if you want them to enter an email in here, they would have to. It wouldn't let them submit it without entering in an email. With text, they could just enter in anything for the email. Okay. Next, we'll put in type password, name is equal to password, and placeholder is equal to password. And basically, what the names do for inputs, in case you didn't know, is basically just gives the field something to call it by later on, so you can call these names within PHP code to set them to variables and use them like that. And I'll explain all that later when we get to it. And then we're going to want them to confirm their password, so we'll say name is equal to password 2. Set the placeholder equal to confirm password. And we need one more input type, which is equal to submit. And the name will be, let's call it reg for register. And then the value is equal to sign up. Alright, so we have all that done. What we're going to do is we're going to open some PHP tags within the same div still. So okay, so first we're going to create some variables to avoid errors. So I'll just comment that out just to keep stuff a little bit organized. And the reason we're doing this, we're going to be setting all these variables to nothing. And the reason I do it is because sometimes you'll get an unidentified index when you try to just create a variable and set it equal to something off a previous form. It'll give you unidentified index, and this can fix that, just identifying the variables before you set it equal to something. So we have the variables. We just created the username variable, email, password, password2, and the register variable. Next, we're going to define these variables. So now what we're going to do is we're going to set username equal to strip tags $_post username. Alright, so basically this is our variable and we're setting it equal to $_post username. $_post is a function used in PHP basically to say what kind of method we're using, and we declared the method up here was post, and the field we're using is username. So we're using the name username up here and we're calling it into here. And I put the @ symbol in front of it because sometimes it gives you an error, but that and I don't know why it gives some people an error and some people it doesn't, but it doesn't make the page run any differently, so the error is kind of pointless. So the @ symbol will just make it to where it doesn't display the error, putting that symbol before the $_post thing. And then strip tags is basically just so people can't put, like, any tags inside the field to help prevent SQL injection and stuff. So, like, if you were to put HTML tags or PHP tags or whatever in the register field, then it wouldn't work. Next, we'll set the email to strip tags post email. Password. We'll just copy and paste all this. This one's going to be register. This one will be password2, and this one will be password. go over here, change the password. Make this one password 2. Okay, so next we're going to check to see if the form was submitted. And basically, to do that, we have to first just say if, put out an if statement, and say if $reg, because it's a variable right there that basically just means if they click the submit button, we have to run some checks before we submit all the information to the database that we haven't yet created, but I'll show you how to. So if a user clicks the sign up button, we'll put in another if statement inside of that. If username and email and password and password 2. That means if all the fields were basically means if all the fields were, if they put information in all the fields, then we can put another if statement and say if password is equal to password 2, we can continue registering user. Else, or otherwise, basically, we will say your passwords do not match. And then we'll say if the string length of email is less than or equal to 40, nothing will happen. It will continue registering because we don't want them to enter too long of an email, so we'll set the character limit to 40 for that. Otherwise, we'll say your email can't be more than 40 characters long. So the next one we can do is if string length of username is less than or equal to 25, because we're going to set the character limit for the username for 25. We'll set out, otherwise we'll say the user username can't be more than 25 characters long. Alright, and next we will, well, what we're going to do next is we're going to check to see if username already exists in DB for database, and I'm going to stop the video here, and in the next video we'll create the database and continue registering the user. Alright, so thanks. See you again.